The place to be on Sundays is right here on the Signal 284 from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. with your LoveLink crew, Lola, Hennessy, and your boy T to the E to the J. Juicy topics on all things love and relationships. Listeners' discretion is advised. The views and opinions of the LoveLink show does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Signal 284 staff or team. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Listeners' discretion is advised. We are not experts, however, we are just a set of opinionated people having conversations that we would usually have off air amongst each other on air, along with the help of the internet. Please, we ask that you censor your words once you're calling in, as we know one can become very passionate. So try your best to be as creative as you can. Here, we use love muscle and love muffin when necessary. When texting, please make a reference to your message, as sometimes we have already moved on and are not exactly sure what you're responding to. So, in order to avoid confusion, help us to help you. Please remember that this show is completely listener-based for now. So we want to hear from you, our listening audience. You can hit us up at 284-544-6677, whether it be on WhatsApp, call, or text, or straight text. Or if you're on the website, you can just message us. It's anonymous any which way. To keep up with us, you can check in with us on our socials at The Signal 284 for Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Lola alongside
Hennessy alongside
T to the E to the J.
I feel like we were going to say alongside again.
I literally was about to say alongside.
Des missing.
Yes, she sure is.
She sure is. She sure is.
Des missing.
So if this is your first time listening to the Signal 284 slash the LoveLink show, we welcome you.
Welcome.
We welcome. So
You see, you can't sing, but you're going to surely do that one. I love it, love it, love it.
Shh. We had to bring it to her attention.
All right, so maybe we need to mute a channel that is on there. So guys, our main goal, I mean, we said it in the disclaimer, we want persons to walk away learning something, whether it's about themselves, their relationship, you know, or even if it's with God, we want to make sure that persons walk away learning something.
Right.
But I have to, and I guys, please forgive me, I have to state, we are not experts.
No, you don't have to apologize. You're telling them we're
Lola
not experts.
is not an expert.
Hold on, push pause. The LoveLink crew, we are not experts. I don't understand why she excluded herself from us.
I'm
Are
sorry.
we experts? TJ?
So the LoveLink crew,
I'm not an expert.
Thank you.
we are not experts at all, and that is
Right.
why we want to make sure that persons call in, they message in, tell us about ourselves, and if we are talking,
Awakataka.
that number to call is
284-544-6677. That's 284-544-6677. Sound?
it sounds so like, oh my god.
I love the commercial thingy, right?
Right. I was going for the commercial thing, you know.
All right, so what is our topic for tonight?
Are they even worth it?
Are they even worth it? Now, TJ,
Talk
I
to
know we
me.
spoke about this already, but when you hear that topic, what comes to your mind? Like, what's the first thing comes to your mind when you hear, are they worth it?
The literal first thing that comes to my mind, that gotta be, I hope this person is not gonna waste my time.
No facts.
And the reason I'm saying that is simply because it's like we've been there, done that, and we just don't have the time to be playing around. For some people, I think for me at that time, late 30s, I just don't have the time.
Sure, we tired.
Dating is just
It's tiring.
tiring. Yeah.
I agree.
It's
Well,
tiring.
what about you?
Mhm.
Before I get into it,
I kind
What
of
about
thinking
you?
on like red flags and so, because we tend to, both men and women, I'm going to say, don't come for me, please. We tend to see these red flags, but then we kind of paint them like pink or a little greenish, not greenish, but
Orange.
bluish, and thinking that they have potential to probably turn into green. But they be waving these red flags straight. So I'm thinking we talking something about red flags. Because if they even worth it, I don't know. That's just my thing.
Are they even worth it? So basically, the gist of the whole shebang tonight would be, what are the dangers of lowering your standards? Are they worth you lowering your standards? I think that's what we ultimately will be talking about. And I know we tell ourselves a lot of things, Henny. We tell ourselves a lot of things about, we know that there are a lot of fish in the sea, but yet still we push down the side, we lower our standards, and we said if they're the ones, if they are our soulmate, suppose they're our soulmate, are we going to continue to be so rigid? You know what I mean? Like, maybe we should just stop being so difficult and just lower it a little bit because we don't want to miss out on our soulmate.
First of all, if they're our soulmate, we wouldn't have to lower no standard.
Yes, but we ain't thinking though. And even though this is hindsight talking, just saying.
Okay.
Because we know that now outside the relationship. But when we're in the relationship, maybe we might start to think, maybe we're a little too hard. Maybe we are a little too hard. And I'm sure a lot of us have reached that point in our life. So tonight, I'm hoping that the LoveLink crew, the callers, the messengers, we want to know if it is worth it.
Oh, yeah, because some of us, they're really lower. Because, like, you're talking about being too rigid, but some of us are a little bit too loose.
Too loose.
Inside the relationship.
Inside.
So when you come out, it's like, oh, damn.
Girl, you nearly had me about certain sound.
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
We have
All right, guys.
Hold
So,
it.
For those of you who are probably watching for the first time, I have to constrain these two because they like to put a song
Yes.
for everything that Lola says. And, the lucky times have changed because in the past I had access to the dials and I would have muted
No
their
facts.
mics.
No facts. She wanna shut us
But
down.
now I don't
She
have
that was
access
Cindy. Anyways,
to the dials, so
Thank God.
I have to listen to them.
Brag on them. Sorry.
Who no?
Who knows? You have better know. Who knows? No. Okay, good.
All right. So give me some reasons that people lower their standards. Before we talk about don't do it, why do people even lower their standards?
To say that they have somebody.
Just to say that they have someone? Okay.
Okay. You know what? I do agree with that simply because I wouldn't say it happened to me, but I would say when you're in a group and everybody has somebody and you're the only one who don't, sometimes you just lower your standard
Major
to
facts.
tag along.
Major facts.
So it's like
That is,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother topic right there, yo. That's crazy.
so
That's true. It's true.
That does happen.
No, it's true.
That does happen.
Right.
What you think?
I think people are concerned. If I'm looking at myself, I think people are concerned with time.
What?
Maybe
Biological
they feel,
clock?
yeah, they might
Okay.
feel like time is running out. I want to be a mom. I need to stop my nonsense, and I probably should just lower my standards a little bit so I can find somebody, get married, and get my kids. So some people
So
do
it could be the
because
dad too. I want to be a dad, and some
Yeah.
people lower their standards. Okay.
So they lower their standards because maybe they think time is against them.
And you must be there saying, TJ Hushima, what dad? I just spawn young, middle, and old.
No, for true. I want no. That's a genuine question. Do men lower their standards as well?
I think, in regards to pointing to her case, some men would. Some men would lower their standards because it might not be about a biological clock, but it might be about, look, I'm getting older. You know, would I have the stamina to run around with a kid in my 50s versus my 30s? You know, so
Men think like that?
You know, in my
Some
brain,
men.
it's just like a checklist because you know men have goals.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to make sure they have goals. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, boom, I have a job, boom, I have my own house, boom, I have my own car, boom. Okay, I have a child, but I just find some money, just get a child, boom, child check off. That's what I feel. In my brain. That's what I feel it is.
You gotta be careful about that check off. That check off.
Now, I basically feel, again, if I'm going through, I feel that persons might just lower their standards because maybe their standards were always low. Maybe they modeled from their parents
That's true too.
where they probably thought that, okay, this is the type of man or this is the type of woman I should have because they're getting that example from what they grew up with.
Right.
So maybe not that they lowered it. Maybe it was never high.
But I like that you said
To
that
begin with.
because, you know, my brain now, I just clicked on something. Not suppose they wasn't even taught standards. Standards and boundaries and these things. Where you were growing up with a parent, you know, so it's like, we just go, you know, hey, what am I calling it now these days? The pick-me's. Being a pick-me. I don't like that word, I hate the word. But being a pick-me according to the society, because they just want somebody to accept them for who they is. And I don't think that they accept themselves
For who they are.
So it's like,
Good job.
yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a learning curve. It's just have somebody to teach you about boundaries and standards. But I think eventually you'll learn it, put it on the hand. And it takes
Facts.
a long time. You know.
So now my question is there a difference between expectations and standards?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
Oh, you want me to elaborate now?
You know,
So you have your standards. You know what your standards are.
what are they?
That's not, we're going to get to that.
Regardless of what they are, but what do you expect of yourself or what do you expect of the person regarding, and it might not even self-coordinate with your standard, but do you expect this person to fulfill a particular standard do you have? And then I feel like I'm about to be disciplined.
No. I'm stopping you now because you said something there that can make it shift a little bit. So expectations, guys, is basically what you have on the pausing.
Yeah, just
What you have, I
stuff.
expect you. But standards is about me.
Your core stuff, yeah.
So it's what I have on me.
Okay, so I said
what
both.
is non-negotiable for me. My expectations can change, right? I can shift my standards a little bit, but really and truly, my expectation is dependent on the individual I'm with. But my standard, I don't care who I'm with. That's my standard.
From that perspective, all right, I got you.
You understand what
I
I'm
got
trying to
you.
say?
I got you.
What is the war we spoke about these things already? Your deep goals.
Yes. So your standards is what you, so it doesn't matter if I'm going with Peter, Tom, Jerry. Those are my standards. But my expectations for Peter might be different from my expectations for
Correct.
Tom.
Correct.
So my expectations would be what I put on you, while my standards is what is from me.
Okay, so give us an example for who listening that may not know what standards and expectations are.
So
One example.
my expectation, a good expectation for me is, okay, I would expect that we have to go out on a Wednesday night because that's the night that I'm free.
Okay.
But my standard would be date night is a must. So
I got you.
I might choose Wednesday for you, Thursday for you, but my expectations can change, but my standard does not change.
Not you having different days for everybody. Okay. But I understand. It makes sense. It does make sense. Because then this definitely is your non-negotiables, lad.
Right.
But yes.
So it just deals with your qualities, your behaviors, your traits. You know, those are the things that, you know, you should be formed and rooted with. But my expectations can change today, tomorrow.
Oh, we have a call.
We have a call already.
Already. One moment, please. Come, look.
Oh. Oh my
It's an iPhone. I'm an Android.
Gosh. All right, give us 1 second,
The
guys.
Android people will understand. See, you laugh because you understand.
I understand.
You're an Android.
He's an Android user, that's why.
We're together in this thing.
All right. Hello, good night. You're on LoveLink.
Good night.
Good night, LoveLink.
We can't hear you. Can you
A
turn
little
it up a little
volume
bit?
there, please.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We can hear you. Good night.
Good night. Quick clarification.
We're not experts, but go ahead.
Go right ahead, darling.
Expectation and standard. Now, your standard is yours. Your standard is what you want from whoever.
It doesn't
You
matter
want it
who.
from.
Correct.
Expectation is going to vary from person to person because the expectation you have of someone is usually what you think you see in them or what you think you could get out of that individual. So your expectation will be different from person to person. Because if I know you and you might be doing X, Y, Z, but from what I know of you, I expect ABC. So your expectations are going to be different from person to person because of what you know of that person.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. So he just confirmed
What you said. Definitely.
what I said. So
Yeah.
it's not, your standard is not personal. It's not personal
Personal.
to you.
Like,
Personal to you.
personal, like, okay.
But your expectation is personal
Okay.
because it's about you and
It's
you.
personalized.
But your standard is about
okay.
me. Okay? At the
Understandable.
end of the day. And those should not change. We should actually have. But I want us to go through a few scenarios and just discuss a few scenarios before actually I think we should pedal back a little bit. Let's pedal back a
Where
little
we
bit.
going? Where we going? Let's go.
What do we even have standards?
This is an individual question for us or just
So this is a
in general?
because remember we want persons to introspect. Remember that's the main objective of LoveLink. We want persons to introspect because I feel that a lot of times persons might just go to date. They're dating, and then they just rely on their butterflies. Like if there's a chemistry or if there's, but you still should have standards.
I feel like you're calling me out. First of all,
And I just want to know, do we even have standards? I think we do, but do we have real solid standards?
where you trying to be my business?
No, I want to know.
She's talking about introspection, so I got to introspect.
I have introspected from the show has begun. I don't like it. Pineapples. Can't do Kevin had.
I want to know.
Real talk. Standards. No, I didn't have standards. I
What
didn't
does
have
that mean?
standards.
So anybody could have stepped to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it took a little bit of learning because I mentioned earlier before that, once you're not taught these things, nobody sat down and tell you, this is the case. People just think that you're supposed to know. And then I hate that persons hate on people who don't have standards, but I understand it in the same breath. You understand?
Maybe hate on them.
Because it's like, oh, they talk about you when you don't have standards in the most negative way, as opposed to by probably she or he may have never learned something from younger or whatever the case is. So yeah, I didn't have standards at all. It's like you have them, but you never implement them.
So
If you understand.
there's no boundary.
There
There's
you go.
no
So that all comes together, like no boundaries, standards, stuff like that. It was just like, okay, and just switch for this person, and switch for that person, and switch for this person, whatever it is. I'll bend and you know, stuff like that, because I want to fit in, I want to have a boo, I want to want somebody to like me, and I'm being honest here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. But it takes getting to know yourself. It takes learning from other people. It takes research if you have to. Even if you do therapy, it takes therapy. You know, if you weren't taught these things. Now, if you were taught them and you're doing what you want, then hey, I ain't judging you, but hey,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah. So no, I didn't have standards. I don't like that I have to. Yeah.
I got you.
So
Just put me out there in the streets.
Okay, no, we ain't doing that today. We ain't doing that today. But we want to know, like, okay, persons who are listening, what is a good starting place? Maybe we should just grab a piece of paper and a pen, and we should make a list.
Oh, I do that today.
Make a list of things that are most meaningful to you.
I did that today.
You know, as Henny says, the deal breakers, things that are not non-negotiable.
And stand on. Listen, it's not that some of us don't have standards and boundaries. You know, you have them wavering in the back, but stand on business. That's the problem. Some of us just don't put our foot down. Standing on business comes with a whole different set of stuff. Because your phone will get dry. It's okay. You're going to die. So, you know, standing on business just means you know your worth as a human being, man or woman.
Correct.
You know, so stand on business. It's going to be a little journey. You get a little lonely at night time, but you'll be fine.
Okay.
You're going to survive.
So
Story time.
I never said anything regarding my standards, but you said something just now where a person know their worth. Now, not everybody knows their worth.
That's true.
I think when it comes to me, it's not that I did not have standards. It's that going into relationships, I never really expected. It's like I went in with a free mind.
Facts.
I'm not putting any restrictions on anything. I'm not putting any standard up. I'm not putting nothing in regards to the relationship. I'm not putting any walls up. I'm going to go in this relationship, in this dating scenario, with an open mind, getting to know this individual. I don't care how you look. I don't care how you dress, because that might not define who you are.
True.
Right? So I might be seeing somebody who is in a bar, and if we are in a bar situation, it's a bar situation.
Right.
But outside of the bar, this might be a total different person. Just like how I have met persons working in a bar, but can't get, let's say, further than being a waitress. But they have a bachelor's degree.
But I want you to go a little bit further. Sorry, bad. What about exotic dancers? If you actually have a conversation with them, they have their head on their shoulders.
With what?
So
Conversation.
wait, hold on. You've been
With
having
exotic
conversations
dancers.
with exotic dancers. That's what I heard just now.
Hold
I've had a conversation or two.
Conversation.
Or two.
So I'm going to join you in saying that I've had more than one conversation with exotic dancers.
Remember, you gotta go home, you know, TJ.
And say that again?
You have to go home.
You have to go home.
Nah, I'm cool. I'm good.
I sure wife don't know, man. What's
Because
up?
at the end of the day, I cannot erase my past.
That's true.
Right? So here is it, even whether it's at the bar or in a private room, I've had conversations. And some of these people got bachelors and stuff.
Facts.
So I'm like,
Listen.
what?
No
Like,
facts.
for real?
We judge them so
So
bad.
you can't judge people by the
Right, what they do and what they look like.
Okay,
and that's
guys.
why going to open relations. I just going to learn.
I can't take it anymore.
That's the business.
I cannot take it anymore. These people are here talking a whack-a-tacker here tonight. Of course they have standards. You must have standards. Would you date a homeless person? Would you date somebody who doesn't have good hygiene? Would you date somebody who is ambitionless? Of course you have standards.
Well, sometimes you don't
sit
have
here.
ambitionless until.
No, but don't sit here and make it seem as though you're free and fluid and blah, blah, blah. That is not
Okay,
true.
I understand.
We know that you have standards.
I understand
know.
where you're coming from.
We
That's you.
understand where you're
I feel
coming
where
from.
you're coming from for you.
No, I understand where she's coming from. But I've also seen those situations where someone fell on a hard time. Crap
But that
happened.
doesn't mean that they're ambitionless.
Exactly. And
So
I've seen where
Your standard would be, I need somebody who is ambitious.
Right.
You understand? I'm not talking about their present situation, their present status in terms of finances. I'm talking about that drive, that inner drive. You don't want somebody who's lazy. You understand? Your standard is you want somebody
Especially if
who
you're
is passionate
ambitious.
and full of
That's
ambition.
true, especially if you're an ambitious person.
At the end of the day, so you not having a job doesn't make you less ambitious.
but
you.
you might I'm hearing what we are saying. But if I'm thinking about what you're saying and all what you just now said, you're not gonna look the first time or the second time of that person who smells stink or that person who might have a bad hygiene.
That's true.
Because of your standard,
That's true.
you're not seeing beyond the veil.
Yeah,
You understand? So
That's true.
sometimes, like I'm saying, some people fall in hard time and they need a help up. No,
Yeah, that's a different show. We understand that, but we're basically talking about the standards because I think the first time I actually listened to the LoveLink show before I was on the show as a host, the young lady across from me had stated that, you have to have a matching belt with matching shoes. I'm gonna never forget that show. I promise you, I never forget in that show. You have to have good teeth.
Yes.
Good fingers. Your fingers gotta be clean.
Fingernails.
Your belt, and
Manicure.
your shoes gotta match. You gotta
Sharp.
smell good.
Yeah, you have to have
good
standards.
teeth, you said?
Yes, good teeth.
Ain't nothing these days a dentist can't fix.
Well, I mean,
We didn't say you can't fix it, but you still.
well, what's appealing to you? Because
Yeah.
a part of having standards, you have to be attracted to who it is. You want to be. Yeah, so
Exactly.
I remember that show. Specifically.
And it's important because a lot of us feel, and I did share with you guys already that I remember
might be
my
bad.
grandmother told me that you should love who love you,
No, I've
right?
heard that.
However, you still have to feel attracted to the person. Like that should be a standard because you're gonna set yourself up to.
So attraction can come.
You see,
I want to say something about
I'm
free.
attracted to a person many other ways because sometimes you might not look the part, but if you sound like you got sense in your head,
So that is our standard.
you understand?
You're just telling me you have a standard.
But what I'm saying is, if I only look at what attracts me to with my eyesight, I might just disregard
Well,
that
yeah,
individual.
but technically, that's human. Sometimes before we actually speak with the person, you have to actually be attracted to how they look. That y'all men know that because you y'all men have that
Listen,
brain.
Henny, let me put
brain
it this way.
thingamabob.
Let me put it this way.
But that brain thing is.
There was a point in time in my life where, I saw a young lady look nice, but she
Right.
just won't put together.
Right.
And then nothing a couple $100 couldn't do. Get her hair fixed
so
and
let's
stuff
come
like that.
back.
I started it out.
Let's come back. The topic for tonight is: are they worth it? Now that was triggered. That topic came about because we wanted to really talk about the dangers of lowering your standards. Is that person that you are lowering your standards for, are they worth it? That's what tonight's topic is really and truly about.
Yep.
And if we are going to be lowering our standard, I don't know. I I know me. I don't play on words, you know, understand? And
yeah. So the first question, she asked, if you're just tuning in, was if we have standards, and that was a general question across the board. If you want to go ahead and answer, you could just hit us up at 284-544-6677. But we were just discussing that yes, we do have standards, some sort of standards,
Yes,
even
you
if
do.
you might think you don't have standards. Because the example is, would you date somebody that's homeless? And when we say homeless, not just somebody who look fresh and because they don't have somewhere to live, like somebody on the street that living.
Correct.
And if they if they have bad hygiene and stuff like that.
Right. So knowingly, would you date somebody that uses heroin?
Oh, no.
Exactly. So you have a standard. So that's what I'm saying. There's certain things that are not negotiable. No matter what, I don't care. Ain't happening. So those are your standards. So if you're going to put together a list, guys, and you must have a list, because a lot of us, I'm telling you, when I listen to people, they have lowered their standards. And we're going to talk about that tonight, especially when it comes to treatment.
Yes.
Women in particular, they have lowered their standards because they don't want to lose him. Yeah. And they take all kind of bad treatment because
they are desperate.
He probably have money too.
There are a lot of factors.
And then she's probably comfortable with him and then thinking, of course, that nobody's going to want her, and so forth and so forth and so forth. We have all that stuff
We
to
have
talk about.
all those things that will cause you to lower your standards. When you know in your heart, you need to get rid of this person, you have lowered your standards. And tonight, I don't want to say we're going to expose, but remember, it's about introspection.
Yes.
I need to know. You need to know. Are you truly lowering your standards? And if you are, is this person worth it? We have a call already.
We have another call.
All right.
That's the only thing I could sing. Hello, good night. You're on LoveLink.
Hello, LoveLink.
Yes.
Hi.
Yeah, I just hit the nail on the head. A lot of times people lower their standards because they see one quality of that person and that piques their interest so high that they forget to check for the other stuff.
That's true.
And then they're in and they're so caught up chasing that one thing that they saw that they want that they lower the standards for all the other things.
That is correct.
That's true.
And you just hit the nail on the head. That was my point. I wanted
Especially if they have good cookie and chocolate.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. And then lower your standards for all the rest.
They get you bad treatment, embarrassment in the street.
That's true.
But you hold up with them.
Sometimes all of that is why I choose.
Excuse me, don't be calling us out like that. Thanks.
Don't turn on time when you say what you want. You get good chocolate or good cookie. Now you want to buy all the rest stuff after the 6 years.
You can't buy all the rest stuff, right? Because you lower your standards just to keep that one thing.
Well.
So you take what you get. Well,
okay.
Thank you so much. Sir.
Thank you.
All right.
That one there rough.
That one is rough.
Because sometimes you see somebody that you're not attracted to, but just give them a chance.
But that's what we're talking about. You lower your standards. And we're going to get into that. But I have 3 scenarios because I was actually talking to a few of my friends because that's what I normally do. Whenever I know what the topic is and I share with you guys, whenever we talk about the topic, what I normally do, we have a message. What I normally do is I just powwow it with my friends just to see, okay, how are we going to take this show? So this first scenario says, this is a girlfriend telling me, well, I know he isn't great at communicating with me on a regular basis, and I should be with someone who is psyched to hear how my day was, but when I do hear from him, it's nice.
That's very common. I'm sorry. That is very common. Very common.
If you know that is important to you, and this individual doesn't really care to hear about your day, but you just like the fact that, okay, he might call me once a day. At least he calls me once a day.
So he don't even call. He just messages you every now and again.
Once a day, and he's not really good at communicating. So we kind of making up excuses for them.
Yeah.
So that we could feel good about ourselves? Or we not feel that we're wasting our time? Oh, what's happening? What
I
was
have a
happening?
message.
Oh, okay.
I want to read this message.
Okay, go ahead.
Good night. I agree with the caller. What if the chocolate is not satisfying, but that one thing about the person have you staying with him?
Yeah, like money. Money is another good one.
Yeah, yeah.
People may put up with stuff because they're comfortable, their bills are being
I
paid.
don't understand.
Yeah, I think the point is, even if the chocolate is not good, you're still lowering your standard.
Correct.
You're still lowering your standard to stay with this person. So the question to you, the person that messaging in, is this person really worth it? Worth lowering your standards for? Right? So think about that. Again, it's introspection going on. But that first scenario is very, very common. Because probably he really handsome, have some money. I don't know. You just
Probably busy.
the cookie just jumps when they see the person or hear the person's voice or something. I
Something
don't know.
might be going on.
Something have to be keeping
But
you
the
excited.
communication sucks.
Yeah.
And again, when you're talking and if that's important to you, and I don't know, when I heard her, I smiled because guys,
The man living in the same time zone?
yes, guys, I'm not a typical person. I know my standards are ridiculously high. I didn't want to say anything because I know y'all say y'all don't have any, but I feel mine are ridiculously high. And if you do not arouse my mind, you may not go anywhere. And if we can have a conversation, I don't want to talk about Gucci chain and bike nothing or TikTok this or anything along that line. I'm sorry. I need some deep, stimulating conversation.
No, facts. Especially when
And
it's
it really and truly, if it's a red flag, as far as I'm concerned, if you cannot stimulate my brain.
especially when them start to have the conversation and drift it into the sexual side of things. Like Biggs,
Yeah, that's all they could talk
I
about.
don't know you.
Yeah.
You don't know me. And then be sending in the pictures and things as if you ask for pictures.
Pictures?
Oh, that has happened to me before. I'm like, where is coming
That's
from?
not a deal breaker for me. And
Oh.
if you're not good at communicating, and yes, everything else can be good, but again, that's where the standard lies.
And you know it, you know it's bothering you. The communication thing, especially if that's your thing.
That's your
You
thing.
like to communicate. Let's talk. Let's call. Stuff like that. But she's like, well, at least he once in a while is okay. It might bothering you, It in the back of your brain, it bothering the heck out of you. You don't want to say nothing
they're
because
just talking about their
you don't want
dress,
to
Henny.
run him away.
Or they're just talking
I
about
love
how
this.
they dress. They talk about, the things that they own. Like when the conversation is very one-sided and it's like, me, look what I can do. Look what I have accomplished. Me, 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 me. I don't want them kind of conversation either.
Or talk about other people and different
Business.
situations, and you just be surface wise. You're not ever leaving the surface and going deeper.
Correct.
That is
Correct.
annoying.
So-
And I have dropped my stand on this.
I'm just saying that sometimes we get those red flags, as she say,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
yellow flags, the orange
They look a
flags.
little pink,
We
they
get
just
those
call them
flags
pink.
from the beginning, and we lower our standards because everything else is good. All right.
Pause.
Pause.
So, Henny, what's that phone number again so the guys could call in?
284-544-6677. If not, I don't know. Hit us
I
up.
message.
Because we really need to
WhatsApp.
figure out what
WhatsApp call.
That's true.
We
Hit
need
us
to
up through
WhatsApp
the
call.
website.
Let
We
us
gotta
know
figure
what's
out- we gotta
happening.
figure
Hit us
what
up
the
on
guys are
Facebook.
saying.
We'll be on there
We're
now.
on live. We're live on Facebook right
So
now.
yeah, like and share.
So you can basically, put your comments there on Facebook.
Yeah, like and share. Tell your grind. Tell your
My
cousin.
next scenario, TJ, is I know I should be with someone who values family, but based on his situation, I can see why he doesn't have any close family ties. So we're not making excuses.
What the situation is?
It doesn't say. Whatever their family, maybe he has history that would cause him to not have good family ties. So again,
No, I
Here
like
we go.
family. I'll admit, I love the whole fact about family. So, having strong family ties
Guys,
is important.
he has standards.
Not saying I ain't got none.
He was
You
talking-
just
I mean,
said
the,
you
co-
he
the
was talking about his
communication part.
worth.
The communication part.
He
you know.
said he ain't got no standards.
No.
He was saying he didn't know his worth.
No. I know my
He
worth.
knew he had his standards, but he didn't know his worth.
Pause. Let's not get it mixed up. I know my worth, but I wasn't going into a relationship or a dating relationship with all of these different, I just want to give a person a fair
He
chance.
wasn't standing on business. That's
wish
basically what it is.
We could have rewind and play.
No.
These two stated out the gate, they do not have any standards.
I specifically
not.
explained myself. Henny said she
And
didn't
I
have,
corrected.
she did not have standards. Now she does.
I mean, I always did, but I'm trying. I'm human, trying to
Right,
stand on business now.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
Yes. But family is a big thing.
Family is a big thing.
Yes. And if that's your standard, stick with your standard.
Because my thing when it comes to family is this. I need to see how you treat your family. How you treat your family is an indication how you're going to treat mine. How you treat your father or your...
But for this scenario, I could see it could become very common. Yes, you don't have good family ties, but let me see how you treat my family when I introduce you to them. We could go from there, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay,
Because
fair enough.
it depends. It could depend.
We don't know what the scenario is
Yes.
behind of everything,
Yes.
but hey.
How he shows you how he treats your family would then determine, you know what, maybe or maybe not. It depends on what it is.
Okay. And my last scenario is I'll date the person because he's pretty impressive. However, something was still off. Whether it was that he knew he wanted 3 kids, and I'm not sure if I want kids, or he knew he wanted to live in the US and I don't.
Why?
Okay, I was there. Okay.
So
That kids thing is a funny thing.
It's very, very
That's a
huge.
funny situation because it really have people who don't want children.
Yeah.
Some of them may change their mind if they think that you're the one, but they really have people out there who are like, you know what, I really don't want to have children. On the children part, don't waver. You stick to your standard.
Stick to
if
what?
you know you want children, it's supposed to know want children, it's not going to work.
It's not
It's
going to
not
work.
going
That's
to
what I'm
work.
saying. In all those scenarios that I gave, staying with those relationships, guys, it never ends well.
Yeah.
It never ends well. Somebody is going to get hurt
Yep.
in the end. Somebody's going to get hurt
That's
in
not
the end.
even
And
a compromise.
it's just a big waste of your time.
Yeah.
So don't waste your time. Don't worry about lowering your standards because you need to value you and you need to make sure that that person values you
That's true
as
too.
well.
Because then you have to fast forward
Okay.
into the future and see if this would even make any
So
sense.
are they worth it? Like, are they worth it?
Let me tell
this
you.
This person is perfect in every way, but they do not want kids, and I want kids. They make no sense. So you can lower what you want. I don't know.
But it's easier said than done because when you actually have somebody like, oh yes, he's so perfect for you, you don't want to let go because the children thing. It's like, okay, let me try to like, convince him that children could be a good thing, or convince her that children could be a good thing.
You
No,
know, I
like,
get a
yeah.
message.
Oh, Father, what
And
I'm
my
saying.
message says, "You're the one, but I don't want children." Well, it's okay because I don't want children. I don't want any more children.
I'm about to say you don't want children. You mean you don't want any more? What?
I'll say this though. That last scenario, I'm going to say it with a twist. It's very hard now when both want children. You now progressed from dating to now a marriage. But then now you find out either or can't get any more children, can't get children.
Or can't?
Can't.
Oh, that
That does be,
that may become a bit difficult. Yeah.
little different.
that's
That's a
difficult.
whole different scenario, my brother. And not twist. That's a
So-
whole bucket.
We are going to pause for our first break.
Focus.
We're going to pause and we will be right back. Continue to listen to the Signal 284.
With your LoveLink crew.
Oh,
Should have forget the LoveLink
sorry.
pad.
sorry.
You know.
Yeah. Stick and stay, guys. Stick and stay.
We here at the Signal 284 have the perfect way to kickstart your mornings. Join us for a soulful and uplifting experience every day during morning devotions from as early as 5 a.m. We bring praise and worship songs along with devotional readings designed to uplift your spirit, preparing you for the day ahead. So make morning devotions a part of your daily routine, because a positive start leads to a positive day. See you tomorrow from 5 a.m.
Attention all music lovers, are you ready for a trip down memory lane? Well, keep it locked to Signal 284 on Thursdays for all the best throwback hits. Get ready to relive the classics and dance to the beats of the past. Starting from 8 a.m. and going strong all day. The Signal 284 is your destination on Thursdays. Whether you're driving, working, or just chilling at home, we've got the perfect soundtrack for you. So don't forget, it's Thursdays on the Signal 284. We promise to take you back to the good old days.
All right. Welcome back. We're back.
Welcome back. Don't singing. No singing.
We used to do it though. Welcome back. This is your LoveLink crew. This is your girl Hennessy alongside
T to the E to the J alongside
Lola.
For a minute, I thought she forgot her name.
For a second, I was thinking I was waiting for somebody else.
Alrighty, so we're gonna just go straight now into reasons why you should stick to your guns. Reasons why you should stick there. And I want us to have a conversation.
Stand on
You see,
business.
this is the thing, right, guys? If you know these three individuals in this room, we're very opinionated. Right? And that's one thing that I love about
Some
my
more
crew.
than others.
That's what I love about the crew in this room. I don't think any of us in here wishy-washy. We would stand our ground, even if we are the Lone Ranger. We are very
It depends.
independent thinkers, right?
It depends.
So what I'm saying to you guys here tonight now, let's have an open, honest conversation on why people, let's show them the real Lola, the real Henny, and the real TJ tonight. Because I want us to have a conversation on why you should stick to your guns.
I gonna come out a shot.
Go right
I
ahead.
gonna come out.
Go right ahead.
I respect myself.
Okay.
That's why I gonna keep my standards.
This is the same person who just tell us he had no standards.
Listen.
He just tell us he
And
had no
And you know what? I ain't going backwards.
Go forward.
So I going
Backward,
forwards.
never.
Forward ever.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
We can't sing, friend.
I ain't singing till she used to get the green card.
If you know,
Bragadam.
you know, bragadam. We need a blue card. When you trace.
So yeah, I have self-respect. So at the end of the day, it's like about when I say I have self-respect, that means I know my worth. I know who I am. I know where I am. I know where I
TJ.
want to go.
Just stop.
Okay. So, excuse me. What a red flag. What a question was again? Tell me. Say it again.
I want us to
For the slow
discuss
ones.
reasons why we should stick to our guns. Why we should not lower our standards right now.
Because you're gonna be miserable.
Okay.
You about to be miserable eventually after all the nice little high and gloat and honeymoon phase because you like this one thing in this person and after all that happens you're going to be miserable. You're going to be always double thinking in your brain like should I leave, should I not? So yeah, that's one
Yeah,
thing.
it's
That's
not
one thing I
worth
know.
your peace.
That-
It's not. Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. It's not worth your peace at the end of the day. However, we don't think so far in, and that's why I want us to have some introspection tonight. We don't think so far ahead.
No.
We just think about the moment. We're comfortable.
Yes.
And a lot of people, let's be honest, don't want to start over.
Facts. That too.
And some people don't want to be alone.
That too, and also the dating pool has P in it, so you don't have people out here just lollygagging to just be dating. So if you find somebody like, oh, let me snatch him, let me snatch she, but in actuality, they don't meet a lot of your standards.
Correct.
So I am not going to lower my standard because I am alone. I am not because that I am alone.
Means
I'm
I'm
gonna
lonely.
means that I'm lonely.
But that's you. There are people who are lonely.
But that and many persons who are lonely lower their standards.
Correct.
You understand?
No, but it's true though. He's right.
So I'm not. So people need to understand. Look, you have family, you have friends. Yes, you might not have that companion in your bed. Blah blah blah. But deal with being by yourself. Love yourself. If you can't love yourself, you can't love somebody else. But at the end of the day, I'm not lowering my standards because I go home and I turn my own.
I appreciate what you're saying, but not everybody know how to do this.
Or psychologically stable.
Right.
To do
so it's
this.
like, because I know one person that goes from relationship to relationship. Technically, I was serial dating. So I was going dating to dating to dating to dating. But I know, oh yes, digging in. I remember now, yes, bless your heart backstage. Thank you, behind the scenes. Yes, you're dinging from one place to the next. You're just dinging in. And I was dinging quite a lot. But then they have some persons who go from serious relationship from one to the next to the next, like probably a week in between. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, so I had a conversation with, and it was a gentleman, and I had a conversation with him. I said, so I said, you don't love yourself? He said, well, no, I'm realizing that now.
What?
Because it's like one relationship. He said a week will go by, or probably a couple of days after one relationship, he will go into a next one, and there will be some long relationship, like 5 years plus. And I'm like, boo, you have to figure, you have to learn to be with yourself. He said, no, I don't like to be with myself. Unless my brain is not occupied, I do not like to be with myself. I don't like to spend time with myself. And I said, that's it right there.
That's it.
Talk to me because I quick firing right now.
You ready for her?
I'm ready to go again.
Okay.
I feel that, again, I'm going to look at it through my eyes for 2 seconds. I feel that you should have high standards so you can weed out the losers. Like, I don't want to, okay, maybe wrong choice of words.
Probably.
I apologize.
Yeah, probably a little harsh, but yes.
Yes, you got me looking up in the sky.
It just, I understand where she's coming from.
I understand.
You weird out the person that you won't mash up your head too much.
Let me put it this way. You've seen situations where persons are advertising, whether it's a car or an apartment, and what do they say on the bottom? Serious inquiries only. Because they have people who would just come to look or have long conversations, and they know their budget cannot handle that. I only want serious inquiries only.
You want nobody who gonna look under the bonnet.
Because we don't want persons, you don't want a relationship. You just want a situationship. But I don't want a situationship. I want a relationship. So me having a standard would eliminate all of that unnecessary run.
I think after you have gone through multiple situationships, even though you know that you're seriously looking for somebody to be with, and you lower your standards to date this person. This person ain't dating you for fun, They're having the time of their life, And you here trying to vet them to make sure that you could be with them for the rest of your life. But them just enjoying themselves. Let's just go eat. We eating, we doing activities, just having fun.
But my problem I have with that is that they're preventing you from the right one finding you.
Exactly. And
because you tied up with this person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you tied up with this person because you're just having fun. Or no, they're having fun with you, but you don't want to tell them hit the road.
Right.
But you entertaining them.
Right.
And then the person who checking for you realizing, okay, well, she don't have somebody.
Right.
And then you just lose your soulmate.
Lose out on the special people, and then when you try to date again,
you understand?
There's nobody.
I understand. I want to knock you over the head.
But everybody's not going to do that.
That's true.
And I remember Steve Harvey had stated that. in one of his things, he spoke about this young lady who came to him and told him that she found the love of her life. She was like with what, a married man. So she was basically with this married guy and, you know, going every single Wednesday to a particular lunch spot. Every single Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. But anyway, every single Wednesday. And basically now
Does I remember that? Yeah.
she, you know, decided to end it with the guy. And then she went back to the to the restaurant still. And one of the servers there was like, I was just waiting for you to dump this dude
Facts.
so that I can step to you. And she shared with Steve Harvey that she's now happily married and they own a restaurant.
Yep.
So there's where we're
that.
going. Oh, not trying to be violent or anything, but there's where we're going because at the end of the day, I am thinking
we have a
should
call.
cut things off
Okay,
when we know.
We have a caller.
We do have a call. Good night, you're on LoveLink.
Good night.
Hello. Give the iPhones to the iPhone people with the iPhone hands.
Have a good night.
Android.
Good night.
There we
See,
go.
it had just need the iPhone person. Good night. How are you?
I think we're leaving.
Sorry, I think you're breaking up. Go ahead.
Hello, go ahead.
I think we have lost all caller. We're not hearing you at all, caller.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and just give us a call back when you give us a call back.
Yeah, sorry
Because
about
I really
that.
I'm not hearing him at all.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
You still doing quick fire?
no, I just want persons, as I said, are they worth it? That is our topic for tonight. And if we're going to be talking about are they worth it, I need to know, why are we lowering
Yeah.
our standards
It's a real conversation.
for this individual?
It's a real conversation.
So my take on it is, they're asking what is the direct number?
The direct number is 284-544-6677. Should I repeat?
Yes.
I should repeat. 284-544-6677. Hit us up.
All right. So as I was stating that, serious inquiries only, because you might prevent me from getting my soulmate, as I just gave the illustration with Steve Harvey's situation. And I find a lot of times I just want to hit some of my friends. I just want to hit some of my past students. I just want to hit them like, guys, you all are really and truly wasting time. You know you want something more and this person is not going to give you anything more. Why are you wasting time?
Because you're in a honeymoon, you're having fun, basically. You're trying to enjoy the experience while still having these standards wavering in the back of your brain. Like,
So I'm following you on that because a lot of us still haven't reached to the point where we had enough.
Facts.
Or we haven't reached to the point where we are saying, you know what, where I am in my life, I don't need this and this. I just need this. And that's where, Lola, compatibility comes to be a part of it because you and I could be,
What just happened?
you and I could be dating,
What just happened?
but because of who you are,
because we beefing.
we always fighting. We incompatible.
I feel
we
attacked.
always arguing.
I feel
we
attacked.
always this. We argue. So if I get rid of
I
you
feel
and I
attacked.
go to who's compatible,
I feel attacked.
you
right now.
understand?
Hennessy.
So the relationship, instead of me always being vexed and always got this
Tension, the toxicity.
tension because we are not compatible, my standard has to be where all of that drama is non-existent.
Yeah, because at some point when you're younger, you really just think the toxicity is just fun. It's just, this is so much fun. The pull and pull, the push and pull, the push and pull. But then I honestly, I heard a theory. I don't remember where I heard the theory from. If somebody's coming to you continuously over and over about the same situation about one person that they're dating, I always tell them go back. Why? Because eventually them get sick and tired of the situation themselves and they're going to leave. Because
I beg to differ.
you telling them to leave,
I know.
they're gonna fight you because like no, but then when you tell them go back, and then they get tired.
This is what I do.
No.
This is what I do with people who just give me these scenarios and them this and that. I said that's why you like. That's why you there. So go back.
No facts. You like
I
it.
think some people, as I said, everybody's not strong. Yeah, y'all have to understand this.
That's true.
I'm a very strong, independent person, and a lot of
She
people
is.
cannot deal with my strength. And I know a lot of people ain't even 1/3 of my strength. So it's like, how am I going to look down on that person? They need to build up, and it's going to take time. Some persons are not just going to come out the gate and be like Lola done Lola.
We agree.
You know, so I don't think it's fair for people to say, oh, you won't be there, or blah, blah, blah. Some people need a little bit of growth so that they can get to that point. And that is why I like when Henny always gives the plug about therapy. Some people need that outside, that external voice who is not a part of their situation or part of their world, to help them see what it is that might be blocking them from growing into the person that they should be.
But a lot of people look at therapy in the most negative way.
And they shouldn't.
They do. So it's like before they look for the help, they know they need help. You know, they know they need help. We need help. We're struggling. It took me some time before I reach out to start going therapy. Haven't been in a minute, but I need to go back. But I'm just saying it took me some time. But then it's like, geez, Brie. You know, you keep, advising them, suggesting or whatever the case is. But it's like, nah, therapy ain't got nothing for me. It's like I'll be telling the people my business or whatever the case is. I'm like, this not that. Hello, good night, you're on LoveLink.
Hello, good night.
Come, touch it again.
Because
it just needs your touch. The iPhone fingers touch. Hi.
Hello.
Okay,
Yes.
we're hearing you now.
Okay. Just a little suggestion. I don't think that when there's infidelity, that discussions begin with admissions and what happened. I think it begins with a little accusation, some tracking, some spying, whatever you want to call it. Because women generally gather information. Unlike men, many men might just see a few things and jump to conclusion. Women gather information. They build a case. So by the time...
So is this pertaining to red flags? Because I think we're a bit confused or lost on what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
What are you referring to exactly?
What show?
Because we're talking about standards here, and you said infidelity.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I don't know if I have the wrong thing there, because I'm trying to dial in tonight's topic. The topic that I see for tonight is how do you repair what is broken?
That's a previous show.
That's a previous show. That's a previous show.
You need to tune into the signal284.com.
Right, or
and
Facebook.
then press the play button on the top.
We're live on Facebook. The Signal 284 on Facebook.
Oh, I'm not on Facebook like that, so I guess I can't get it.
No, that's fine. Go on the website.
The signal284.com.
And press play.
Okay, all right.
All right?
Okay, great.
Okay,
Thank you.
then.
Yeah, because okay.
No problem.
All right, so we have persons who are listening to a past show and
yeah.
calling in to make a comment
Right.
for a
The
past show.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting. That's
Look at
cool,
us.
though.
Look at us.
Right? That's really cool.
All right. Another thing too, we spoke about time. We spoke about time earlier. A lot of times, persons like to rush into a relationship. All my girlfriends are married. I'm not married. I finally have this person. I finally have this individual. Why should I give up on that individual? I don't feel like giving up on that individual because I want to be where my girlfriends are. I want to have that love. I want to see what's on TikTok and Facebook, just like everybody else. So we tend to rush. We lower our standards and our expectations.
Excuse me, don't come for me like that. Don't call me out like that. Thank you.
Oh.
Because all my
okay.
girlfriends are married. Yeah. TJ, don't laugh. I know you want to laugh at me. Don't do that.
But there's no need to rush into a relationship. You know, at the end of the day, you should take your time, because that's when you get past the representative.
No.
And that is very important, because you will then figure out, yeah, this person is not good for me.
Facts. And you know, I think unbeknownst to all of us, I'm not including Lola because Lola's special, we all present our representative without even knowing. So it's like you want them to see the good side of you, the fun side of you, and not the bad side and the nasty side and the moody side and all them things. So if they push your buttons, you go, especially if you're just texting or WhatsApping or whatever the case is, you just tend to, like, you know, take a little gulp down your throat and, you know, respond in the better way as opposed to your natural self. Because like if you're a moody person, it's like, you know what, just get from here. You don't want to run them away, you know, you just want to give them the representative of you. So I think some of us do that. I kind of guilty, but yeah.
And we need to understand that, you know, love takes time.
Yes.
Don't sing. But love takes time.
I wasn't that time. I really wasn't.
And it's not a race. At the end of the day, if this is going to be who you were with, guys, then, you know, time will definitely tell. Not you're going to rush a relationship in 3-4 months.
So
Well,
you're speaking about loneliness and why we shouldn't lower our standards. So the flip side of that, in why we are not lowering our standard, is because we want quality over quantity. So marrying all that together lets me know that, okay, I have some values, I have some beliefs. I don't want to be the person named or listed as the person who entertains everybody.
Stop yelling at me.
And I'm saying that nicely when I say entertain. But at the end of the day, we want a quality relationship.
That's true.
Where both individuals have that time. Okay, so let me put it this way. Have you ever been on a date where the conversation hasn't gone near sex, it hasn't gone near money?
Yes.
But it is just so invigorating, so fulfilled, so imaginative, so creative.
That's
so
the problem.
I'm like, you blow my mind. It's like you just cannot stop engaging, and
Yes.
bam, it's like, where have you been all my life?
Don't sing.
I still wait. If you didn't say that, my brain wouldn't start singing. My brain is singing.
It's now singing.
Where have you been? Anyway, so I have not. Okay, so I like that you're asking about the date. One, a lot of people don't go on dates. People never experience dating. Two, no, I haven't experienced this invigorating and the blowing of the mind situation as yet. I've had some crappy dates. Really have dates where people would not say a word. I promise you nothing. And I'm just...
So that was a free dinner?
It was a lunch something.
Oh, okay.
So,
like, nothing at all. Just busy minding other people's business. How can we not have a conversation?
that brings me to my next point. There are good people out there. And if you feel as though there is no good one out there, that means you're looking in the wrong place.
We ain't supposed to be looking in the first place.
You're just looking in the wrong place.
Where to look? Because you can't look in church. You can't look in the club.
But you have to check. You have to ask yourself, because a lot of people will be like, oh, I am, you know, I always get this particular type of man step into me. What does that say? Maybe those are the ones that you are attracting.
Attracting them.
You are attracting them. Your energy
But you have to stop entertaining.
is attracting them to you. So, I mean, I have a cousin. I'm not gonna even pretend. And she indicated to me, you know, all men are dogs. That's her philosophy, right? She's saying all men are dogs, and she said if there's a good man out there, he's not gonna be a good man for long because she can go with him. So he's still not going to be a good man. At the end of the day, she doesn't feel that good men exist because all men will turn out being bad. You just have to, as Bob Marley would say, who you're going to take it from.
Right.
Everybody may not be worth it.
Yeah, mash up with
but who are you willing to take it from? So,
Do you agree with her with that statement?
no, I don't.
Okay.
Because I do believe that there are good men out there. I do believe that there are good women out there. And I don't know if I'm in La La Land, but I still believe that there are persons who have been through really, really bad times, and they themselves have had enough of the bad times, and they might find somebody who's had enough of the bad times, and they both come together and decide to love purely. I believe that is possible. I don't believe that persons are okay with that. I don't know. I don't feel that they're happy if they're the type of person who just wants to dog persons. So if they're not happy, I feel that they can become happy.
So I have a small situation. There are a lot of women out here who attract married men.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I didn't say they entertain married men. Do not get me wrong. They attract married men.
Oh, they attract. Okay.
Do you know the reason why? Let me tell you. The more you have your walls placed high, is the more you attract married men. It's really weird, but yeah.
But my walls high?
Your standards are high.
Oh.
Your walls aren't as high. Because it's like you emitted masculine energy, so the married men are attracted to that. Anyways, hush.
The number to call is 28454. Wait.
6677 544. So it's 284 544 6677.
I was just gonna get
How
my
do you
number.
not know the number? You want him to call your personal phone number?
She want a married man, them call.
Anyways, hey Tina, big up to Tina. Thanks for checking in and watching.
OMG.
But anyways, I digress.
Okay, so
I want to piggyback off of your happiness statement, but
Happiness.
I don't even know what to say right now.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
I don't know what to say. But there are
about
still
the
good
bombshell
men.
you just
There
mentioned?
are good men out there. There are good women out there.
I think it just depends on the bracket, the age bracket that you're in, and the things that you participate in terms of community-wise. Because if you're on the inside of your building, your home, in your bed, you cannot find, or nobody cannot find you in there. I mean, after you done heal up and do some introspection and fix yourself and make sure you decide to stand on your business, you have to go on the outside of your bed and your building and the door, so people can see you or you can see them, I guess. That's what I see. In my bed, that's where I pay most of my bills. Thanks.
What?
In my house, I pay most of the bills in my house.
Listen.
Outside expensive.
listen.
Just say.
Listen. So this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to jump in and say regarding, because Lola, for me, hit a, she said something that
The
triggered.
nail on the head.
She said something that triggered happiness. You said something about happiness. So when it comes to lowering one standard, lowering one standard could lead to short-term happiness.
Facts.
You get to satisfy the itch when you lower your standard.
If you're scratching that itch.
If you're scratching that, if you want that itch scratched,
There you go.
Wait, what itch we talking about?
whatever itch you got.
The itch, the actual.
So then what happened if the itch was a waste of time?
No. What I'm trying to say
we just said
when
that.
it comes to the standards, lowering one standard might give you short-term satisfaction.
That's
Or
true.
no satisfaction?
That too.
That too.
That too.
But when you maintain your standard, you want to make sure that at the end of it, your happiness is long-term. So, like we spoke about what's next, the future, having that conversation, it just blows your mind.
Right.
And then from there now, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't lower my standards when it came to my Sugar plum.
Talk to the people so they
I'm
can know.
confused.
Don't be confused. I was confused. Why are you confused?
He had no stand.
No, but talk to the people because
So let me say this. Let me say
Right,
this.
talk to the people.
Because I know she's just joking, right?
right.
I always had standards. I know who I am. I know my worth. At the end of the day, I'm not going to go into a relationship putting pressure on somebody or disregarding who they are. I want to see who they are. My wife always said, if she wasn't in a place where she was, she would have walked off on me because she felt that our first date was an interview.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
Remember, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that we are compatible. We are aligned.
How can you be sure that you're compatible if and one encounter?
So this was my standard going in. Right? This is my standard going in.
So this particular time you wasn't free. You wasn't going in, free mind.
No.
You were
I
ready.
had a free mind, but I had something in the back of my mind. And
Okay.
this is it.
Okay.
If I am asking questions to a woman, if she doesn't ask me those same questions or if she's not engaging, then I know it's a red flag.
Well, friend, that's just another expectation.
You understand? So I know, regardless of what we're saying, I know that when she started to reciprocate, when she started to ask me back the same questions or even added on those questions is when she had my attention.
Like, ooh.
You understand?
So she picked your brain?
So in our conversations, and like I said, we didn't want to stop. So even on the ferry coming back home, we still texting. On the way back driving home, we're on the phone. I'm now in my house, we still on the phone. It's like, so for me, right then and there, I said, now this might be a little corny. I said, I'm the Joseph to you, Mary. You understand? So I didn't have a long quoting time. I cut that bad boy short because I saw who I wanted. And not only at the time, based on our conversations, I knew down the road that she will still be there.
Yeah,
so
but
I wasn't settling for short-term happiness.
Yeah, right. But that's because you knew what you wanted, and
Yeah.
she the same.
Yes.
But we have people out there who know
don't
what they
know.
want,
No,
right?
and that's fine.
But do not stand on business.
That's fine. You might not know what you want. My advice to anybody who don't know what you want,
Tell
don't
our
jump.
people.
Don't
That's
jump
what I say.
into a
Don't
relationship. Don't rush it. Take your time. Don't allow the biological clock or any kind of clock or education clock to cloud your mind.
Well, Uncle
Agreed.
Old School boy, take time to know her.
Oh, jeez.
Uncle
don't-
Old School, you know.
my God.
That's the boy.
But yeah, I agree with TJ. It's like he's finally catching up with us.
Yeah, he
Because we
reached.
said that like about half an hour
Yeah,
ago.
he has arrived.
But
It's okay.
he's
a
with
man
us now. So
Yeah.
now that he's with us,
Yeah, he's a man. The man
Welcome,
brain,
TJ.
no catching up.
You know, I'm
Welcome.
just putting that
Thank
out
you.
there.
You backstage people. Whatever.
Yeah, because
I'm
you
just
know,
putting
Rich.
that out there
Yeah,
because
you
it's
know,
like Hennessy and Lola. We've spoken about this a whole half an hour ago.
the
but-
men brain.
Well, we got it about 10
Yeah,
minutes more.
they cannot take on all these words that are being said.
No, I'm just letting you guys talk.
But yeah,
I'm
because
just
so now,
confirming.
so again, we're getting back to: are they really worth it?
Are they?
Do you have standards,
No,
boundaries,
but wait,
expectations?
I have a question now. So what happened if you lower your standards and they can have the girl to be looking on you?
Imagine the nonsense, the
Can you
tomfoolery,
That's why you're behind there for lowering your
the
standards.
tomfoolery,
Can you imagine? I lower my standards for this
nonsense.
person.
You even
And then
that cute.
and then they want to turn around on me.
You even
and
that
make
cute.
It seem like
Nonsense.
I'm sorry. That's why you should not lower your standards. And I always feel that, you know, especially somebody who lost close people, close family members, don't waste time. Time is something you can never ever get back.
It's too precious.
I just feel that if you know for a fact that this person is not the one for you, stop wasting each other's time.
No,
It's not gonna
facts.
end well. And then my take on it is my take on it is, what happens if this relationship actually turns into a long-term relationship? So you have actually settled, and you have, you're not happy at the end of the day because you have actually lowered your standards. You now have to, because some people they would throw in your face like, how come you coming to me now with this? How come you coming? You didn't tell me about this 2 years ago. You didn't complain about it 2 months ago, but you're complaining about it now. So I feel that we have lowered, you've lowered your standards, and now you're with this person, you're stuck with them, you're stuck with in a marriage, you're stuck in a long-term relationship, you're stuck in with 3-4 kids, and then you realize, I deserve better. All of this could have been prevented.
Avoided.
Avoided if you did take time and you went through the right stages at the end of the day. So you should have standards. Don't lower your standards for nobody.
No facts. You see the red flags. You walk. Listen to me. It is difficult for a lot of us, some of us, whoever of us. It is difficult to hear the information that you're receiving now that, this person, because a lot of us tend to fall for the potential in a person. And that is also a kind of a red flag. If the person does not see, sorry, we have a phone call.
You have a caller?
A whole phone call. Let me see if I get it right now. Good night, you're on LoveLink. See, it never works for the Android fingers. I swear to you.
Okay.
It passes on to the iPhone fingers.
Good night.
This is so hilarious.
See? Good night.
Yeah. Good night. There's so much to unpack.
Right.
That was just said.
I'm sorry.
First of all,
Go ahead. Mm-hmm. No, we lost him? We lost him? Hello?
Well, probably, can you send them a message to let them know that direct number?
We lost him.
No.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Please call us at 284-544-6677, or you can just go ahead and call us again. I don't know what is happening.
I nearly said conflicts and milk.
Cornflakes and milk. I really want to hear what this caller has to say in terms of it has so much to unpack what we just said.
We said a lot.
But we said a lot. But
a lot of gems.
I know it's difficult sometimes because, again, Lola mentioned it earlier. Your friends are married. Your friends are in a relationship. Take it from your girl here. My friends are in relationships and they're married. I'm like the only single one out here. Well, not only one. I'm not the only single one, but in a particular friend group, I am the only single one. I had no man. Nobody talking to, none of that. And it may become a little bit difficult because you may may feel like you left out because they're doing the married group stuff, and you can't participate. But then a lot of us do not see relationships as being very serious. It takes work.
Yes, it does.
Even if you're dating somebody, it takes work. Communicate. We mentioned earlier about if communication is a part of your standards, if you want to be spoken to every day, I don't see an issue with it. Don't just text me. Don't just WhatsApp me. Call me. You know what I'm saying? And I should do the same so we could have better conversation so we don't misunderstand things that, that are being said. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you're not taught these things, you have to learn them on your own. It may take a longer time. And I'm not looking down on you because I would hope nobody don't look down on me for the situation, but it takes time. So, when TJ and Lola are saying it takes time to build and get to know each other, but TJ had already know what he wanted. His wife had already know what she wanted, so it worked. But then if you're in a situation, I don't want to say a relationship just yet, a situation where to yourself, you're dating to be married, to be in a serious something, right? And you're dating to be in a serious something, and this other person is just having fun, cut it off.
Hello, good night. You're on LoveLink.
Good night.
That's having problem with Wi-Fi.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Okay.
Talk to us.
There's so much to unpack. And first of all, we talked about compatibility. which we like to think that compatibility is not something that is there, but we speak of it as if it's something that is there. Compatibility happens over time as you get to know people, because really you get to know not just your likes and dislikes, but the issues that you can work with and those that you can't work with. And sometimes it's the one little issue that puts a wedge between them. So sometimes we think about, oh, we're compatible because things seem nice in the beginning. She likes this, he likes that, and oh, we are great and we're sailing until something happens. So we talk about red flags, but flags usually become red after the fact. We look back and we call them red flags, just like how we like to say that's the biggest mistake I ever made. But it wasn't a mistake when we were doing it. We were conscious about it.
Right.
It's a decision, it's a choice we made, it's a decision we made. How do you know when something is a good decision, when a decision is a good one? Only after the consequences. So sometimes we speak as if these things are so easy. Things evolve. Things go well first, and sometimes they break down, they get stronger. And so it's kind of difficult to look at it in that way. I was looking at some statistics, for example, from GitNup, Marriage After Infidelity Statistics, which says that 77% of couples report having marriage after recovering from fidelity. Now, that's just one little statistic there. But we're talking about here what brings us together, what keeps us apart. Like TJ was talking about what his wife said about it seemed like a job interview, that kind of approach. But it seems to have worked for him, or for them rather. So different approach. But we have to remember that as we go along, we are learning, and some of us like to say we fall in love, and like I said, no wonder we hurt, because when you fall, what happens?
You hurt.
You hurt, you bruise up, you get caught.
Exactly. I like to use the term growing in love, because it suggests that as you get to know the person, the more you get to know a person, the more you decide if you love them or you're not going to love them.
Right.
It's the knowledge about the person. So even the language that we use keeps us back, because it reflects the way we think. But relationships are not as easy as we think.
That's what I'm saying.
They're very hard to navigate. They're very difficult to navigate. It's not as clear cut as sometimes we like to say. And there are many relationships that suffer setbacks and get stronger. You ask those people who are married for 50 years plus, and they will tell you all the horror stories. But everything looks good. Everything looks good on the surface. But we don't know what they went through to make it work.
That's true.
Right.
But we tend to focus on those that don't work. Have you ever heard somebody say, take somebody who has been married once or twice or three times? You will hear people say, that's the worst person to take advice from, because they can't keep a marriage together. That's not true. That's an assumption, because you're assuming that the person got married three times because they messed up three times or twice before. Sometimes it's those people with the experience that could give advice about the mistakes they made, because they're not just telling you about the mistakes that the other party made. They should be willing to tell you about the mistakes that they made. Better to learn from than somebody who has failed. Just like how we think we only could learn from somebody who has had success, we could learn a lot from people who failed.
Correct.
So
I love that.
it's all a matter of perspective. It's not that easy as we tend to think through it.
That's true.
It's a difficult thing to navigate.
That's true.
And so we just have to go in with some faith. I do agree, however, with the notion that you have to have standards,
Right.
because that's extremely important. Because the minute you drop your standards,
Right.
then what they say, you wear what you buy.
Oh, yeah.
I love that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when you drop your standards, don't go blaming anybody, because if you know that you
made a decision.
accept these things, but
That's
you're
true.
trying to do it for the sake of this thing working. That seems to me that you have a particular agenda, because that's not who you are. But you're accepting these things either because you think, oh, I'm going to change her, I'm going to change him. Instead of working on ourselves, we tend to work on the other party.
Right.
So a lot has to do with our outlook and the extent to which we are willing to be open and honest. And that's where it comes from. Because trust comes from repeated instances of telling the truth, being open and honest. And remember, it's not just what we say. Omission is just as bad as commission. So the information that we omit from the conversation could be just as deadly.
Okay.
So it's a complex thing. It's a very complex thing.
It is.
I love the discussion, but it's a really complex thing. I don't think anybody has the correct answer to these things.
It's
because there's
true.
so many things that
It's
happen.
true. Well, we thank
But
you
I've
so
been talking
much.
too much.
We thank
You're good.
we
Good.
thank you
Listen,
so much.
listen. You've been trying to get on so long, brother. It's all good.
Yes, we appreciate you calling and dropping your gems. We appreciate you.
I was on the YouTube channel with older thing, and I realized.
Oh,
thing is
okay.
wrong.
Okay, got
Yeah,
you.
so,
All right, thank
apologies.
you. Thank
Sorry
you for
for
still calling in. We thank you. All right.
You know,
Listen.
just to piggyback off of what he stated just now, remember I stated that their standard is about you, the individual, the proverbial you. So there's no textbook answer. There's nothing that any of us in here, no professional doctor, therapist, anything can give you for you. You
Right.
have to know. You have to be the one to sit down and decide what your standards are. Because what I would consider to be bliss, as TJ said, happiness, Henny might not consider to be happiness. Our standards are going to be different. Our requirements for our happiness will be different. Our
Right.
expectations will be different.
Right.
So there really and truly is no blanket statement.
That's true.
No, that's why I say you have to sit down, draft your list, but we're just giving you reasons on why you should not deviate from your list.
Right. Have one. Make one. Have your list. Sit with yourself, introspect, know what you want, know what you will accept, know what you would not accept, your deal breakers, whatsoever, whatever it is, you ain't breaking them at all. Once you're standing on business, you have to stand on business and write your list. Take some time with yourself. Write your list.
Correct.
You understand? Because if you don't have I didn't have one. I just started writing one. I just being honest. So, yeah, have your list. Really and truly and follow through with your list. You understand? And then you will avoid breaking your heart
These pitfalls.
over and over.
And I'll be honest with you, it's all about self-love. It's about self-respect.
Yes.
It is everything. And nothing is wrong with having high standards. I don't feel no way. I'm so sorry. I feel no way with having high standards.
To me, if you have high standards, and you're going to be treated the way you want to be treated. And if you have low ones or you settle, like we're talking about not settling on your standards. If you settle, then you're going to be treated poorly. You understand? And these are things that you do not want for your future. You have to think, like TJ said, long term. Not just the temporary feel and the short-term happiness or short-term bliss. Lola mentioned bliss. But, we have to think. And I don't think a lot of us take the time to think that far forward,
Correct.
into the future. Like, you know what? Can I really see this person?
Exactly.
First of all, do I really like this person? It don't matter if the things that they're doing, trigger you, make you feel good. That one thing maybe. But then you have to ask yourself, do you really like this person? I like this person. Do I want to be with this person? You understand? Do they meet the standards that I have for myself? Again, my beautiful people, women and men, boys and girls, stick to your standards.
So what Henny just now said in terms of thinking, I'm going to say it this way. We don't take enough time to reflect.
That's true.
So every day of your life, you're supposed to be reflecting on something. How you're doing, did you meet your marks? Whatever it is, whether it's your job or whatever. Even in a relationship, because this is something that my wife and I do. We reflect where we began throughout the journey. And then we now ask each other, where are we now? Where are we going? Is this what we want it to be, and what are the changes that needs to happen. So, just from me, the time you take to reflect, to put things into perspective, that helps us make decisions. I'm just gonna just stay right there.
I like that.
You know, I didn't want to say it before, but when Henny stated that she doesn't have any standards at the beginning of the show, we're now ending the show, but I want persons to realize that you should have standards, because if you don't set standards, other people will set them for you. And you don't want that. You should be in control of what you like, what you desire. And you should not allow anybody to set your standards at the end of the day. It's what's in your best interest.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
and a lot of times, as I said, we go places where we know we should not go. We do things that we know that we should not do because we want to fit in. We lower our standards in a lot of things, not just romantic relationships. We lower our standards at work. We lower our standards, you know, in our friendships.
Yeah.
We lower our standards with our family.
Yeah.
And, you know, anybody who knows Lola, I always say, the little ones are watching. And I wouldn't want my daughter to see a woman who, you know, just takes mediocre because I'm afraid to stand up for myself. I want them to be strong and firm. You know, I mean, she doesn't exist, but I would have wanted her to be strong and firm, you know. So we have to be very careful with the things that we portray. It's not just about us. Remember, all lives are intertwined with a lot of people who are around us. And if we have little ones, they are watching us. So let them see that, yes, have standards. And if persons do not meet your standards, it's okay. That is okay. Don't succumb because you want to fit in. Let them see that mommy's okay and daddy's okay, you know, because we don't want these wishy-washy followers around the place. God forgive me for saying that, but that's just how I feel.
No, that's what it is. Boundaries with your family and your friends. That's a thing, just so you know. I didn't know that was a thing, but that's a thing.
And don't apologize for it, because I'm not apologizing at all for having high standards. I'm just putting that out there. You have to know what is good for you. And I don't have a problem if you lower your expectations, but you should not lower your standards.
So let me see if I could rephrase the lower expectations. Maybe we should then look at realistic expectations. But not compromising on our standards.
Right.
Realistic.
Be realistic. Be realistic.
Let us be realistic in our expectations.
Be realistic in your standards too. As much as they can be high, of course, which they should be, still be realistic, of course. You want to date a human, you know, not a robot. I just say.
I'm good. You good, Henry?
And that is a wrap.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I feel as though we have exhausted this topic. I think we did what we were supposed to do, and we do not want anyone, guys, you know what's good for you. You go through. We always support introspection, and you make sure you decide what your standards are, and you should not tolerate, and I use that word loosely, but you should not tolerate any foolishness from persons that if this is what you stand for, this is what you stand for. As the words we were using before in the beginning of the show was what? Non-negotiable. We should not allow anyone to treat us how they want to treat us. Now, I agree that a lot of variables, there are a lot of moving parts in there that prevent, we might already be married. We might already be in a situation where we have a family member that, we understand all of that, but you still stand your ground. Because I don't believe in you being mistreated. If you feel that you are being mistreated, you need to state.
Yep.
You need to say what is what. And if you're with someone,
And I get bashed for saying this, but if you know that you're not happy, if it's not the right fit for you, don't force the fit.
Facts. It don't make no sense. It wouldn't work regardless. No matter how long it goes, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Yep.
You know, and I find that a lot of people live on this earth and they have never really lived. They die unhappy and miserable because they have that word I hate, compromised and sacrificed
Don't know why she
for
hate those
other
words.
people's happiness. It's not worth it. So you just have to work on you.
Right. So take your time.
Oh my gosh, TJ is singing. So that means he's not in agreement with what I'm saying.
No, 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 no. My mind is on the rap.
Oh. All right. So just to let you guys know straight up, the Signal 284, we're here every single day from Sunday to Sunday. But the LoveLink crew, we're here on Sunday nights from 7 to about 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's usually a 4-man group. We're expecting bigger and better things. In the mornings, we're here from 6 o'clock. You should join us in the mornings at 6 o'clock for our morning devotions. And Thursday is my favorite day of the week. That is
Throwback Thursday.
Throwback Thursday. So you can listen to us from early in the morning until midnight. We play all the goldies. So that is it for the Signal 284. You would stay with our socials to find out what our topic is for next week. Thanks to those who listened to us on
Yes.
our app. Those of us
And
who
those of you
listened
on Facebook Live. Hi.
All
Thank
right.
you for joining.
And we will be posting the video up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel as well. Henny usually leaves us with some gems, so I will let Henny end the show.
Nothing too serious, nothing I wouldn't say for the night. Just saying, never lower your standards to keep anyone. Make them meet you at your level. Nothing different from what we said.
Of course. Thank you to our crew in the back who are so faithful. We can't do this without you, Des. We miss you.
Yes, we do. She did message in the chat. She said, and with Des. So alongside Des. So Des, we miss you,
night.
man.
We
Good
do.
night.
So with that, we say
Good night.
wrong.
Attention all music lovers, are you ready for a trip down memory lane? Well, keep it locked to Signal 284 on Thursdays for all the best throwback hits.
Stay tuned and listen for more programs on the Signal 284 because we just vibe.